Hello, everyone. My name is James Corr, and I am the newly appointed Associate Director of the Digital Measurement Solutions team here at Seer within the Analytics and Insights division at Seer. I'm here with Jocelyn Chen. Um, Jocelyn, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, definitely. So, hello, my name is Jocelyn Chen. I'm the Associate Director of Digital Measurement Solutions. I've been in the role for a little over a year, but that is part of my overall tenure at Seer of um, 5.25 years. So, very excited to talk about the role, working at Seer, analytics and insights overall, and what been able to accomplish over the last 5 years, and then what some new folks could be able to do coming onto this team.
Yeah, and I am excited about your new opportunity as well. I have spent about almost 8 years at Seer, starting as an associate and then becoming an account manager and then a team lead, and now an associate director, working to fill Jocelyn's shoes to kind of oversee the division. So I've worked for about 5.25 years with alongside Jocelyn actually to help manage, run, and have a bunch of successes and failures alongside of Jocelyn. So Jocelyn, why don't we start with what are some of your most proud moments at Seer?
Yeah, definitely. So I will say that I think one of maybe it's not even a proud moment. It's funny because I've looked back a lot over the last few weeks as I'm getting ready to move on from Seer, and I've gone through a lot over the last 5 years. I mean, I have been promoted 4 times in that time frame, going from an account manager to a senior account manager to a team lead, and then I helped create my own role, helping to lead up the GA360 program at Seer, and then senior team lead, and then eventually to the associate director role. So I've gotten a lot of chance to grow as a leader here across the board. So I would say that's probably like looking back, that's probably one of my proudest moments. Um, and then I've gotten a lot of chance to really just like position myself more than just as a person within Seer. I think one of the really cool things that I've been able to do is bring my thought leadership externally, which has been a lot of fun. So participating in webinars, I actually got to speak, I think my first year at SeerFest, which, we had like a whole group of people, we had a huge number of people turned out for that. So that was really exciting. I think the video is still on YouTube. So you can see young Jocelyn circa 2017 there. Um, so it's been really nice to have that platform, certainly, to be able to get my face, voice, and points of view out there on the analytics world.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think as I look back at some of the things that I've done, um, I was encouraged to start writing blog posts when I first joined the team back in 2014. And I knew very
As an
little
associate, yeah.
as an associate, very little. And I think that helped set me up for success in a variety of ways, both about like writing and communicating, of course, but also, bringing an understanding of what it means to write a blog post and like the value of that to the business. And then also ultimately, further along in the road, I think it helped bring me confidence to help speak to things and to later go on to speak at different conferences and things like that as well. Um, yeah, I really think that's a foundational building block adherence here, and it's something that's encouraged, and really oftentimes unique.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the
Um,
coolest thing when your post gets like retweeted by Google and things like that. Like that's I don't know. I remember thinking that was like the biggest one.
yeah, and another cool thing too that can happen somewhat frequently is we'll either be talking with a client that maybe doesn't, engage with the analytics side of Seer, or maybe a prospect that comes in the door and is like, "Oh, like how did you hear about us?" And they're like, "Oh, well, we Googled this problem that we were having, and what do you know? Like there's a piece of our content written by somebody who joined the team 2 years ago, or 6 months ago, or anywhere else along the line." And that blog post literally led them to talking with you today. It's really cool, kind of like circle of events that can often happen. It happens more than I think we know or realize. Switching gears a little bit here, nobody's perfect. We're all working to get better. What are some of the challenges that you faced, and how did you work through them?
Yeah, that is a great question. Um, it's funny because I can think of it in a couple different ways in terms of challenges that's here. One, the reason why I've been at Seer for this long is that I've been challenged every day in a way that like I've continued to be able to learn. And that's like super freaking exciting. It's the opportunity to grow in a place also that you have a really great just like backup system. Like I have never felt like I am a lone person going to bat trying to figure out how to tackle something at Seer. There's always been a huge team behind me supporting me in what I do. So I will say twofold. One, some of the biggest challenges that I face have really been industry specific. So it's like analytics is changing constantly. The world of data is changing constantly. Digital marketing is changing constantly. And that's part of the fun of it as well, is the fact that we have the opportunity to stay on the cutting edge in a way that one, respects the privacy of our users and our clients and who we're working with ultimately. And then on the flip side, finding better ways to make sure that we're collecting that data so that it actually turns into value for that end user. And that's something that I find really cool about, I guess, where we sit in the intersection of digital marketing and measurement, is that we are there to figure out what is the right solution that we need in place in order to get the right data to then get the right execution, and the right activation. And that, I think that's one of the cool, difficult challenges because everything keeps changing. New tools keep coming out every day. And we got to stay on top of it because clients keep looking to us asking what's going on, and we have to know. So I'd say first, industry. I can talk about other stuff too, certainly though. I don't know if you have any thoughts there, James.
No, yeah, no, I know the industry has changed a ton just in the last 3 years, let alone year or 8 years further out, right? Um, there's definitely a lot of changing specifically for measurement of what's happening online and helping our clients bridge the gap between data and use of the data, insights, and actually making use of it in a business can sometimes be a really tricky path, right? Um, and then internally, how do we work through and deal with those things? Our team is focused on doing this, and we need to adjust to make to focus on and do these other things or address this market need that maybe we didn't know existed prior to something changing. um, in particular, things like GDPR and security, right? Like that has changed a lot of the things that we do over the last 3 4 years in particular. um, Anything else specifically about maybe like team structure and internally some of the challenges that we've faced, maybe about how, standing up and helping bring in the GMP Google Marketing Platform partnership with Google, some of the challenges that we face there, and maybe like kind of where you're leaving some of that platform here today.
Sure. So we became a Google Marketing Platform partner. Was that 2018? Oh my goodness. So we are an authorized reseller of all of the analytics products within the Google Marketing Platform, which is pretty cool because at the end of the day, we get to service some of the larger enterprise clients in actually unlocking better access to their data and what they can do with it at that enterprise level, which is really cool. So when we started that program, it was pretty slow going, trying to figure out where we should be positioning ourselves within a pretty saturated market, to be honest. And so making sure that we can service those clients and support enterprise, but then also being true to Seer was something that was really important in the development of this program. So we wanted to make sure that one, we're not just a hotline. We're not just like this faceless form that you fill out every month that, hey, you might get an answer in 2 weeks and it might be good, it might not be. That's just not the way that we do things at Seer. So over time, we've always had a dedicated person you always got a face to the name whenever you worked on a project with us. And while that might not scale like some of these larger agencies out there who are the big top tier resellers, that was really important to us, is to make sure that there's always a direct personal connection, to make sure that there's someone who's truly there to try to understand your business and what you need in order to operate better and to use that data and to unlock the actual potential of a tool like GA360. And that's what we've striven to do over the last several years as we continue to build up the program. We've learned some things along the way. As much as the industry is changing, Google's offerings are changing as well, and it's been a fun challenge as the technology changes as well as the needs of our clients change over time.
Yeah, no, I love that. Now, I was gonna ask you about what you think. What do we focus on to help differentiate ourselves? But we already went over that. So
Yeah.
let's switch gears a little bit. As you look to the future, do you have any thoughts, words of guidance, suggestions to future, digital measurement solutions leaders or team members that might happen to join this year team?
Yeah, I do. That's that's always funny because I have so many. I have so many thoughts usually when it comes down to team members here because when it comes to building this team, there are some technical skills as well as these soft skills and really intangibles that are really important to someone in this role or on this team in general that are needed to succeed. So technical, you got to want it. You have to want to be able to dig in and really question data, question the why behind how things were set up, and then pick that apart and actually want to build up something better that's going to withstand hopefully this test of time, but at least prove to have more longevity as well as just be a little bit more future proof. So it's not this is not you need SQL, you need JavaScript, you need whatever, but it's really that inherent desire to poke at a problem and really want to solve it. I would say is the number one skill, mindset, behavior that someone on this team would need to succeed. Um, and I think that's true anywhere, but in particular on this team, problem solving is huge. And having that critical thinking and wherewithal to say that is a flag and that isn't right, I'm going to dig in and I'm going to pick that apart to figure out what's going on there. And then on the flip side, there's some intangibles where there is a willingness to grit and grind and push for the right solution for the team and for your clients. And that can look like banging your head against a wall as you're trying to figure out why something is broken or why the data just doesn't make sense. Or also on the flip side, raising your hand to help someone else out because they haven't been there before, but maybe you have. And that's something that I've loved about being at Seer and where I've seen a lot of people succeed is really that team mindset to come together to solve a problem. So I guess they're kind of related, but I'll say those are probably the biggest pieces of advice that I have for folks here is there's definitely, while we have our own clients and you have your own portfolios, it's really a team mindset to make sure that we can all win together.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely one of the things that I've always really appreciated about the approach at Seer. Just doing the right thing for our clients and for our team members, really above all else. And Seer makes it really easy for me as a leader to do that. I don't have to worry about blowback or pushback on, giving a client a make good because we made a mistake when it happens, right? Things like that, you can get in hot water in other places. And I've always appreciated that at Seer that, no, it's about doing the right thing and working through that and whatever that may mean. I love the grit and grind reference. I know that was a Memphis Grizzlies reference, big NBA fan. Go Sixers, but we can go ahead and kind of work to close this out. What's next for you in your career? What's the next chapter look like and how has Seer helped to set you up for success in that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have been at Seer for 5 years, focusing really on the digital analytics space, especially on the web analytics, a little bit on app analytics, and those technical solutions. And when I took a step back to look at what I wanted to do in my career, um, especially as I moved into the team lead role and eventually the associate director role, I really realized that there was more out there in terms of the cutting edge of technology that I wanted to be a part of. And Seer didn't quite have exactly what I was looking for. And when I had that conversation with leadership, very open and supportive in, hey, this is, you got to do what you got to do, and you have to look out for number one. And what being a part of Seer is more than just doing the job, but also opening doors for everyone to go where they want to go. And that has been very consistent through my time at Seer, which I'm very spoiled by, to be honest. So I am moving into more of the digital and emerging technology space on the marketing analytics side, at a large consultancy. So I've gotten the opportunity to span outside of agency, which I've been in now for a bit now. Still work with clients, but really hone in on that technology piece and make sure that we're able to scale. So I would say that's what's next for me. And I'm very excited. I am incredibly sad to be leaving this team. I've grown up as a leader here, and that is entirely because of the people I've been able to work with, the environment that has been fostered at Seer, and just like the core ethos of Seer is to foster growth and to wake up every day, hit the ground running, and solve big problems. And I couldn't have grown nearly at the speed or and the breadth that I have anywhere else than at Seer.
Yeah, no, I love that, and I couldn't agree more. And I think I've grown and learned so much from working alongside of and with you during this time too. So thank you for that. And great. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Jocelyn. Really appreciate it. Um, and wish you best of luck in your next adventures.
Yeah, real, too real, very strange. I'm very excited though. And I'm excited for what you're going to do in this role, because that's one cool thing about Seer as well, is that leaders are empowered very much to carry forward and have a lot of trust in whatever vision we are marching towards. And that is huge. And like that level of ownership and that level of impact that you can have is really cool. So thank you. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the future of Seer, and I'm excited for any new team members that are coming on board.
Awesome. Thank you.